Deborah from Austin 360 here. So let's talk about you. You are a nice young man from New Jersey who last weekend rocked the big stage at ACL Fest with Shania Twain. Will you give us like the Reader's Digest version of how you got there?
Yeah, I've always been a musician. My parents are singers. I grew up singing a lot of gospel music, and I started dedicating a lot more time in high school and college toward writing songs, trying to improve as a songwriter. Ended up in Atlanta for a few years writing songs for some people in the R&B hip hop world, and then fell in love with the way songs were being written in country music and thought that I might have something to contribute there. So ended up moving to Nashville, started releasing some what I call cross-country songs, and one of them ended up catching the attention of Shania Twain, and she ended up bringing me out on the road with her.
So talk to me, what was it that attracted you to country music?
I just love the way that the stories are told. I mean, these songs move linearly, they're clever, but they're just really well told stories, and you can talk about whatever you want. I think sometimes within R&B and hip hop I felt kind of limited in the way that songs were being written in terms of the how they hook their songs and how these stories move linearly. I just love country music's take.
So talk to me. My Truck, obviously huge hit. How did that come about, and how did you find this country trap lane for yourself?
Yeah, initially My Truck was just a song that I was writing for pitch. It wasn't even something, I wasn't an artist at the time. I was just trying something a little different, having some fun in the studio with some friends. And then after it was done, I was like, man, I don't see why I couldn't put this out. I think it's really catchy. I don't think there's any barriers, keeping me from doing it. So I put it out independently and had no budget, had no plan for the song. It just kind of truly organically, grassroots, started to go viral. And I was really grateful that it did, because it's opened up a lot of doors.
So the country music world is kind of known for being more conservative and less diverse.
Yeah.
How do you, as a young black artist, how have you felt? Have you feel like you've been welcomed into that world? Have there been some weird moments along the way?
Yeah, I think, country music definitely kind of gets a bad rap when it comes to diversity and kind of open-mindedness, but I think honestly there are a lot of artists in this space that have done a really good job of making me feel welcome and embracing what it is that I do. Shout out to Shania Twain, Keith Urban, Garth Brooks, Sam Hunt, Dirk Bentley, and so many more. So I don't really feel it really from the artists, but at the same time, there are still some barriers when it comes to country radio. There hasn't been a black woman with a top 20 hit even at country radio literally ever. So it's kind of tough sometimes with that. We've played some shows in the South and seen some Confederate flags. I've had people send me nasty messages on the internet, but I'd say more often than not, I do feel really comfortable, and I also think we've had a lot of really amazing wins in terms of being able to bring in more diverse faces and voices into this space, which I think makes it safer and more enjoyable for everybody.
I love that so much, and I'm sorry about the nasty messages, but I'm so glad about the support that you've been getting along the way. What is next for you?
I would say what's next for me is working on my next project. I just a few weeks ago put out the deluxe of my debut album, Cross Country, The Extra Mile, and now I'm focusing on whatever we want to do next. So I'm getting back in the studio. I've already got a couple ideas, but taking a little break from playing shows for a couple months and really just trying to get creative.
Thank you so much for talking to us. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me.